I'm a high school dropout. Now, I dropped out of high school to go to college, but I dropped out of that too. So, fun fact, my highest form of education is my middle school diploma, which I lost. You see, my entire adult life has been based on risk, as I'm an inherently risk-prone individual. In fact, the story behind why I moved here to Madison, Wisconsin is very simple. It was just a leap of faith. I didn't really have any money to my name, there was no opportunities lined up. I just said, well, I want to make a video production company, and it has to work, and if it doesn't work, I'm screwed. And it worked. It's just, especially in my line of work, there comes a point where you plateau. You see, a lot of the work I do includes small business promotion for other people, wedding videography for other people, corporate videos for other people. You see where I'm going with this? If I'm so good at telling other people's stories, why don't I tell my own? And that's why I'm here on YouTube. This is it. This is the next step. This is the next big risk. I want to be a YouTuber. There's a big investment involved for what I'd like to do. Why don't I just show you? This is where I get all my work done. That is the office work I need to do. And this is my workshop. I use it to work on cars and e-bikes and stuff like that. It's an addition to my apartment that sort of just came with the place. Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful to have it. It's a disaster. It's a total mess. Sure, I could organize this space, but really what it should be is long-term storage because we're on the second floor. Not to mention that it doesn't make working on cars exactly easy. Oh, speaking of which, this is the parking lot where I work on my car. Doesn't look too bad? Well, let me educate you. First of all, this is a parking lot that I have to share with other people, so I feel pretty bad when I have this car up on jack stands for weeks on end with tools amok. It's just kind of an eyesore. Notice anything unusual? Yeah, the pavement, it's uneven. This is actual nightmare fuel. I think you can imagine where I'm going with this. Hello, and welcome to the Bug Farm. This is a 3,000 square foot warehouse with an office, a loft, plenty of space to work in, and a bathroom, thank God. See, I call it the Bug Farm because the previous tenant was a cricket farmer, and especially in large quantities, crickets smell rank, and so did this space. But fortunately now, it's way better. When I first came to see this unit, it was the last stop of a long day. I think this was like the 7th place that we were seeing. And I had even told my friend, like, just so you know, before we see this place, we're probably not gonna get it. It's too big and too expensive and blah, 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 blah. But I had a thought. Sure, I could save a few $100s a month by sacrificing some square footage in a different unit. And this is more space than I need right now, but I'll be able to grow into it later, which is really important because moving sucks, as evident by my sweat today. Plus, I'm actually not the only one using this space anyway. Meet Abby. Abby is a ceramicist. She will be making pottery in this space. And she's on the phone.
Abby's on the phone.
What do you have to say? And on top of that, I kind of like that the space is worn out because it's like not having to worry about the anxiety of the first scratch on a new car. I just want to say that I just watched this video and it looks like I bought this warehouse. I did not buy this warehouse. I'm renting it. Be clear, it's still a 5-figure investment, but I didn't buy it, I'm renting. Alright, you're probably wondering why a YouTuber like me with less than 1,000 subscribers needs all this space. Well, let's start with Exhibit A. This guy needs more space than you could possibly imagine. Not to mention, the thing I'm most excited to do is turning this guy, Yankel, into a resto mod through an 8-episode series. We're gonna cover everything from chassis bracing to engine upgrades, and yes, making him look new again. Or maybe even better than new. Spoiler, anyone? Also, the car side of this channel isn't gonna be strictly Yankel. Stay tuned for that. And I make other stuff too, like e-bike content, which, by the way, an e-bike manufacturer was brave enough to send me one for free just to make a video about. That's coming. And soon enough, more eclectic content will be on its way. I have a Google Doc with, man, I want to say like 35 videos that I want to make, all of which are entirely unrelated to anything I just said. So there's no shortage of ideas, and I'm excited to get to work. The last thing I want to say about this space is that I happen to have a background in media production. What that means is I'm going to be able to utilize this space to the max when it comes to making the best looking videos possible. All right, I have been waiting to move into this space with all my stuff in the U-Haul, but I've waited because I wanted to get these shots out of the way. So without further ado, let's move in. All right, we are well into the night. We finally got it loaded. I didn't even break a sweat. It's actually kind of cold out. Anyways, we're gonna hit the road tomorrow morning. See you then. Hey Quincy, what are you doing with those 1991 Golf rocker panels? Oh, I don't know. I'm just moving them around for future use. Like just to show how all this space right now is crazy, all my tools are in this box. It's empty. Empty U-Haul. Yep. Okay, let's get this thing out of here. This might not mean a whole lot to you, but the first goal I ever set in life was to be a YouTuber. I'm serious. I must have been, wow, 8 years old when I would binge watch Lego unboxings, video game Let's Plays, comedy skits, and I just knew in that moment that this is what I'd like to do. I want to make YouTube videos. I want to be a YouTuber. And it's taken a while to get here, but here we are. I'm a big boy now with big boy interests, and I'm dedicating my career to showing you what I'm interested in here on YouTube. So you can be damn well sure that I'm going to be pumping out lots of videos because I don't have any other choice than to make this work. Talk soon. I have a Patreon. It's right there. Look at it. Oh, wow. Big floating P in my warehouse.